stream. And then 30 seconds of silence. No, we're ready to go. Welcome everyone to the Sidebar Cantina. This is the first episode of the year. Bonus episode. Football, Sidebar Cantina, all things Star Wars. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How's it going?
You threw me off with that little...
I was trying to do like a, let's get ready to rumble.
That would have been better than what you ended up doing.
Yeah, I had no idea what I did.
Sounded like you were kind of like coming out of a tunnel or something.
Okay, that works. It's got to be different. That's the biggest thing, is we got to be different from the All Things Star Wars podcast.
Okay.
Somehow.
Whatever.
So, we're here to talk about week 1 of the NFL, as well as fantasy football. So, and I guess we'll do a little bit of college, too. Do we want to knock out the college first? Because...
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, you fucking half-ass, not college football watching son of a bitch. Listen. See? This is... Don't get it twisted. This guy, with his fake Michigan fandom, right?
I love Michigan. What are you talking about?
Doesn't have a goddamn clue about college football and how important it is. You can't downplay the importance of college football.
I didn't downplay anything.
Yes, you did. We got to talk about. We got our fucking fan base that also follows college football. You can't just be like, yeah, I guess we'll start with college. No, it's all about college football, Jason. It's fucking college football. Listen, just because you're a candy ass growing up in fucking Bakersfield, California, that like, oh, look at us in fucking California, whoop de doo de doo,
right? What does California have to do with any of this?
I don't know. Why don't you? I would have more respect for you if you fucking followed a school from California. Like, I wouldn't like it because I don't like UCLA or USC or any of those other fuckface places, especially not UCLA because fuck Chip Kelly. But as you should be saying too, with your poor fucking San Francisco franchise.
At least that was only a 1-year gamble.
It's about college football. The passion for football. I mean, listen, I'm an Eagles fan. That's my heart beats for fucking the NFL and for Eagles football. However, I love Saturdays. I love football on Saturdays. I love college game day. I love the signs. I love watching people that they're not playing the game for fucking money. They're playing it
for money later on.
For money later on. But most of those kids, the majority of those kids are not going to be playing in the NFL.
Sure.
They are playing solely because they got to the level that they are. They're playing Division I fucking football. Division I football. The highest stage they're ever going to get. And they every fucking week they take it dead ass seriously. You can't tell the people in Boise State, that follow Boise State, that live in Boise, that blue turf and the Broncos aren't everything to them.
Okay, again, I'm not questioning any of that, so I don't know
where so you have to make sure that Bronco Fed is displeased. You have to, it can't just be talking about the NFL. And we have to make sure that college football gets its due diligence.
Like, I never said we weren't going to not.
This is why. See what happens? We didn't do notes. We didn't do notes for the fucking football show. Otherwise, there would have been the appropriate amount of diligence paid to college football. So let me help you, Jason.
Why don't you help me out?
We're gonna start with John, the most overrated fucking football coach ever, Harbaugh.
You mean Jim Harbaugh? But yes.
Jim. The even more overrated, I'll be good goddamn if I can get that right. Regardless, fucking the Michigan football team that almost lost to a goddamn service academy. Now look, we're Air Force guys, right? Mm-hmm. We worked closely with football players that played at the Air Force Academy. Mm-hmm. These are Division I football players. Army had a hell of a team last year.
Yeah.
Right? They were uber competitive. but they run a very distinct college-style offense. Jim Harbaugh, who is the advocate of this pro system that we've already established a couple weeks ago when we were having a little football conversation, and how he's going to have to adapt his system to fucking what college is doing now. Jim Harbaugh is the best coach in the Big Ten. Shut the fuck up. You believe that? Do you, Don Sulsky? Do you honestly believe that?
I think
he's the
point.
best coach compared to what? What are you basing this on?
Name recognition.
Listen, okay, sure. For name recognition alone, I'm willing to bet you that more people in the country recognize Urban Meyer's name before they recognize Jim Harbaugh's name.
I don't buy it.
Listen, there is no fucking way that a top team in all of Division I football should have gone in and had a fucking Army almost handed to them.
You just said Army had a good team last year.
Yeah, there's good fucking service academy teams, and then there's everyone else. Okay?
I recall us talking them up pretty high last year at the end of the
on the Army-Navy game, because they were a far better team than Navy was.
Yeah.
And they had their most wins ever in a season, which they're playing in the MAC, I think, or whatever the fuck they're playing. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't follow Army. But the reality is that a top-tier program should not be losing or almost losing to a service academy. They went to fucking overtime.
But they won.
They went to overtime. Jim Harbaugh was crapping his fucking khakis. Because they were so close to losing that fucking game.
That's what he does. That's
what?
The thing.
You can't say that you are a top-tier program when you're going to go out there and get ready to lose to a service academy. Let me give you an example, okay? Penn State plays Buffalo. They probably had a little bit of a hangover from putting up a fucking 80 spot on a high school team, basically. Right? So they go in there and they're playing Buffalo, which is a Division I school. It's an FBS Division I school that has good recruiting. They recruit throughout the country. And they're a very competitive football team. They went in there saying, this is our fucking Super Bowl. We're going to Penn State. We're playing at night in State College on a national television stage.
Okay.
They showed up to fucking play, and Penn State had to backpedal. Ultimately, they won the game handily in the second half.
Okay.
But that team stepped up and they fucking said, okay, we have to fucking we got to handle our business. This Michigan team is supposed to be far and away better than a fucking Penn State team. If Penn State went to overtime against fucking Army, I'd be like, this is our season's fucking over. How are we going to play Ohio State? How are we going to play the Michigans and Ohio States if what we're going to do against a team like Army? You can't tell me that Jim Harbaugh is the best coach in the Big Ten. I don't buy it. The guy has one fucking job. Your job as the coach of Michigan football is to fucking beat Ohio State. You have one job.
Okay, well,
this team that fucking went to overtime against Army is not beating Ohio State.
You never know.
If Jim Harbaugh doesn't beat Ohio State, I guarantee you he's fired. And he should be. Because he's fucking overrated.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see when they finally get a loss, if they get a loss this year. So,
see, this is the difference between college football and the NFL. And it was fairly distinct yesterday with the Eagles game, right? Eagles came out flat against the Redskins, right?
We're just jumping the gun and going
No.
right to the
I'm making an example, right? So I watched every minute of the Penn State game, and I watched every minute of the Eagles game.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State is a college team. There's like warm up, and there's like momentum change that happens with a fucking team like that.
Mm-hmm.
An NFL team going against another NFL team, that's it. You're going 150 miles an hour right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like, oh, okay, well, we play this soft schedule to begin, then we get into our fucking, we get into our division rounds and shit like that. So they have this warm-up with a soft schedule. Ask Notre Dame, ask fucking Alabama. Alabama, supposedly one of the best programs in the country, has they play trucking schools all season until they get into their SEC schedule.
Yeah.
Like, fuck Alabama. But you don't have that in the NFL. It's like you fucking, boom. You have the best players out of everybody playing against the best players. Hopefully there's a few more better players. And then, boom, you go and you make fucking adjustments and do what you have to fucking do.
Yeah.
College football, you don't get that. Right now, Michigan's, the Penn States, these big programs, the Big Five programs, are playing against schools where this is like their tune-up. They're throwing a bone to these other programs because, like, Army is going to get major recruiting out of this. If Army has a successful season this season, they're going to look back at the weight of a Michigan going to overtime. It's not about wins and losses. It's about how badly, like, if you're Penn State and you don't put up 80 against a fucking high school team, and you're in contention and you're undefeated at the end of the season, the undefeated team that had a stronger schedule is going to go to the national championship. You're not. It doesn't matter how many wins and losses you have. So a Michigan team that goes to overtime against Army, and Army doesn't win again against another fucking Big Five program, that makes Michigan look like a fucking a turd.
Yeah, but at the same time, Army could run the gauntlet at this point. We don't know.
They're still not going to make the national championship, though. Yeah. They could go undefeated. They don't have the strength of schedule that's going to put them even in a conversation for the national championship. The bottom line is this: Penn State started flat in a night game against a very hungry Buffalo team, a hungry, well-coached, well-recruited Buffalo team. The better team still won, but Penn State got exposed a little bit. They got exposed for some of their running game and everything else, and they're going to build off of that. That should have been a win by 40 type game, and it wasn't. So that hurts Penn State. At the end of the day, it hurts. They won the game, but it hurts them. Ohio State, they won big like they were supposed to. Most of the other big programs, there was a couple. I wasn't paying attention to all the scores.
Now, educate a layman like me when it comes to college football. Do they do this on purpose? Like, do they give all of these big name teams like the light schedule in the beginning of the season? Is that the way it always
so colleges can actually negotiate, like, they'll negotiate terms between, okay, in this part of our non-conference portion of the schedule, we're going to play like these teams, right? Penn State plays against Pitt, which used to be a big in-state rivalry. Pitt doesn't have nearly, up until recently, Pitt didn't have the type of program where you can consider it to be a big game. Like, it is a non-conference scheduled game. It throws a bone to that. Penn State is a nationally recognized program that's part of the Big Five. So, yes, the non-conference schedule.
And they consider this favors to these teams that these big
that they're beating up on. Yeah.
That they go in and beat the fuck out of.
Yeah.
It's still like a...
It's good exposure for their program.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and that's why it happens. And there's a lot of give and take there. But the conversations that happen as you're getting closer to, like, in this BCS, those conversations that you're having about, like, what's the strength of schedule of this program, and this program. Like, the Big Ten is very competitive within the two divisions. There's two divisions in the Big Ten. So where Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State live, the competition amongst them is very, very strong.
Sure.
Whereas some teams, like in the SEC, the competition's generally strong, but it's a different style of football. It's very different. It's very different. That's why when Jim Harbaugh says, I run a pro-style offense, because he wants recruits to come there, and that he wants to know that, hey, you come to my program, I'm getting you ready for the NFL.
Right.
If you come to my program to get ready for the NFL and you can't beat Army, and you can't beat Army handily, you have a problem. If your program has a problem, Jim Harbaugh should be fired. He's an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment, and he's not the best coach in the Big Ten. Not even fucking close.
I don't know. I'm still a wins and losses guy. They're 2-0. So
but you can't do that in college football. That's what I'm trying to.
All right, can we move on from this subject? Talk about BSU real quick, because we have a strong BSU contingent in our listeners.
What's there to talk about? They did their job. They won their game.
All right, can we move on to the NFL then, or do you have anything else to say about college?
You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
We have a lot of fantasy to talk about. I have some NFL shit I want to add. We've got football games going on right now, by the way. The Texans and the Saints are playing each other.
Did they kick off?
Yeah, it's fucking 9 minutes left in the first.
Oh, I thought they didn't kick off till 7:30.
No, it's the first week of the year. It's always it's the double header.
Which is nonsense. Oh, Boise State played Marshall. Boise State won 14-7. Looks like they made a game of it.
Yeah.
But again, they did their job.
Yeah, as did Michigan. Anyway, so moving on to the NFL.
Don Salsi agrees to an extent.
Yeah.
Army will run their gauntlet too. Yeah, but it's not the same gauntlet. You can't. It's an apples and oranges conversation.
Yeah.
It just is.
Now,
that's the nature of college football.
All right, shifting gears to the NFL. I know this has been talked to death everywhere else, But just really quick, this whole Antonio Brown situation, what a fucking train wreck. And Oakland, oh my god, like they were fucking done before the season ever started. Like, I know you had your thoughts about Chucky and, you know, Oakland and all that. Like, I knew he was gonna at least make it to this season, but holy shit, dude, what a fucking disaster. And sorry,
Listen,
Brady, but I mean, your
listen,
franchise is fucked.
Brady notwithstanding, I mean, really what it comes down to is this is fucking Oakland getting what it deserves.
Yeah.
I think that Oakland fucked over its fan base. You know, you have loyalists like Brady who he's nomadic himself, so he doesn't care where the fucking team lives.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, when you're pulling a franchise out of a town, it never goes well.
Yeah.
You know, look at the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Look at fucking Baltimore, which was at one point was the Oilers.
Yeah.
Right? You move these teams around, it takes a long fucking time for them to reestablish their fan base and actually fucking be successful.
Yeah.
Oakland, Chucky is on the same tier as Jim Harbaugh as being overrated. The difference is Chucky actually won a Super Bowl, even though it was with somebody else's team. But
Right.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Eagles should have won that game against Tampa, but whatever. Honestly, I don't have any respect for a franchise that is going to tell its fan base to go fuck itself. Just like the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams. You had a fucking strong fan base in St. Louis, and you decided to tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm going to go chase money on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Fuck you too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't deserve to have a good fan base. You don't deserve to have a multi-billion-dollar fucking stadium that people are showing up to just because it's the in thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want anything to do with those at all. And you know what? They think they're going to bring in an Antonio Brown and that they're going to win with this guy. And he is. You look at him by the numbers, especially like from a fantasy standpoint.
Yeah,
the guy is money.
I had him in the last fantasy league I was in a few years ago, and the dude just made me insane about it.
Yeah, the guy was money, but I had ESPN on in the background most of the day today, and Rex Ryan was on fucking talking head on all the fucking channels this morning.
Is he the one with the long hair or the short hair?
Short hair.
Okay.
His
Rob Ryan is his brother.
Yeah, because Rex was the coach of the Jets, and
right, but they were both coaching at the same time, and they're twins, and one of them's got long hair and the other one doesn't.
They're both idiots, but
right.
Rex Ryan was basically like, look, there's no way that I could coach this guy. He would not work in my locker room. Like, there's no way I could do it. He said he's running into these locker rooms. A lot of people are saying if Belichick can fucking get Antonio Brown to like fucking stay on the rails for this season, that might be worth more than fucking six Lombardi trophies.
And I mean,
like from a coaching standpoint, that guy, fuck the 4 years of retirement and everything else. Take that guy, mold his fucking head in bronze, and stick it right in the fucking the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, and they've done it before. They've done it with Randy Moss and a bunch of other people in the past. So like, I have no doubt that they're going to do it with him too, because that's what the Patriots fucking do. Like, they are a win first mentality over everything else. Locker room drama, all that shit. Fuck it. No, we win first no matter what, as we've seen by some of their antics in the past. So I can't say I'm surprised with that, and I also wouldn't be surprised if they're not hoisting the fucking Lombardi trophy again at the end of the season.
It's so fucking disgusting. And that's the thing, like, talking about what New England did to Pittsburgh, you know, I don't think Pittsburgh really had much of anything. Pittsburgh is a shell of itself right now.
Oh yeah.
They I don't know what happened to Connor. Like, I didn't see him running at all. I didn't stay up for a lot of that game. I
didn't watch it all.
I exhausted myself through the fucking Eagles game.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I wanted to watch the fucking Cowboys and the Giants, and God damn it, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, why don't we talk about your Eagles? Let's shift gears then, because Antonio Brown's gotten enough fucking national attention. We don't need to draw anymore. So.
Yeah.
I started by watching your game yesterday, the Eagles game, because that's all that's on fucking local TV. If you only have an HD antenna hooked up to your TV and no cable service,
right,
you get the Eagles. So, yeah, watch the Eagles game, and we'll just say it took them a couple of quarters to fucking get their shit together. Though, I gotta say, that first fucking touchdown, my man Vernon Davis fucking leapfrogging that defender, and then the rest of the defenders just forgetting how to tackle. And that's when I texted you too.
Yeah.
So basic tackling drills tomorrow in practice. Yeah.
I will say that the Super Bowl champion Eagles from 2 years ago, their secondary sucked.
Yeah.
Their secondary sucks this year. Jim Schwartz has this fucking this defensive scheme, and we saw it in Detroit. Don can attest to this. That I can't stand it. I can't stand watching a guy. From an X's and O's standpoint, you're continuing to go into the fucking zone and giving up 8 yards of fucking passing play.
Yeah.
Because they're going to pass underneath. Every fucking time. You go in a 2-deep zone, and when you're watching on a fucking 60-inch television and all you see is fucking green field and a player receiving the fucking ball, you're wrong. You're wrong. The Eagles won that game despite the fucking fact that they were letting all this shit go in their secondary.
And
they rely way too much on the fucking pressure from the front four, and then when they did rush, an additional linebacker or bring the Mike linebacker in, then they let these passing plays go by. That's the type of shit that even the Super Bowl winning season, I couldn't stand from Jim Schwartz. I don't buy into that at all. Yeah. I think ultimately, it's wherever you stand on a defense wins championships or whatever, that game again showed me that Jim Schwartz hasn't changed his fucking colors. Yeah. Like, he's going to call the same fucking plays. He's going to rely on Fletcher Cox and Jernigan and Brandon Graham and these guys to put pressure on the quarterback against a Washington Redskins team that, to me, they should have fucking manhandled those guys. They should have manhandled them. Like, they beat us on the ground pretty handily last year in a game, as I remember. And they never really got the running game started because they really don't have any. They fucking Adrian Peterson was a healthy fucking scratch for that game. First time ever in his fucking career he's a healthy scratch.
And that had fantasy implications for me too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I picked him up in a league as well, and it's like you look at a guy like Adrian Peterson. Yeah, he's at the end of his career, but however, the day that they told him, I don't know if you're watching the telecast, but the day they told him that he was going to be a healthy scratch, they gave him the MVP for fucking offensive MVP for the season before. Like, if you're not telling, like, you're basically telling this guy, look, we're done with you.
Yeah.
It's a youth movement now. We're going to Geis and all these other guys. We have a youth movement going. You're an old guy. Hey, thanks for the fucking fish, but see you later.
Yeah.
And I personally, I think if you want to win football games, it's a poor decision.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian Peterson is going to make him being on the field. You have to respect the fact that he can fucking run the ball. Mm-hmm. And by making him a healthy scratch, like, he's not going to go out there and help fucking guys run better.
No.
So, and he's not going to fucking make the gaps any bigger. Like, and when he's on the field, even for a couple of carries, you have to respect that.
Yeah. And
the first half, the Redskins offense exploited the Eagles.
Yeah.
The difference in that game was, the offense was hardly on the field at all.
Yeah.
And when they were on the field, it was preseason rust.
Right.
Like, they didn't play. Carson Wentz didn't take a single snap in preseason.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't really put much stock into, even though I was kind of fucking with you a little bit with the tackling drills.
Yeah.
It's the first quarter of the first game of the season.
Yeah, but see,
like, you can't put a whole lot of stock into it.
That you say that, but I think from a quarterback perspective, and between the quarterback and like what's going on with the line, timing. Now, what's going on? Route running, all that other shit. Like, you can't simulate game speed in practice. You just can't. You can't simulate getting hit and anything else. So Wentz going into that by not taking a snap in preseason, you're not getting him hit. However, you almost took yourself out of the game before the half.
Yeah.
And thankfully, they made an adjustment, and they won the toss. They get the ball back in the half, and they start moving the fucking football, and then they did what they're supposed to do. I think Carson Wentz looked really, really good.
Yeah.
I was really happy with his second half performance. I think they got the rust knocked off, and we'll talk about the Lions, poor thing. But from an Eagles perspective, as a fan, I think the biggest takeaway from a fantasy perspective is the lack of Jordan Howard.
Yeah. So
they pick up Jordan Howard from Chicago. Big Squee was talking about it, how Howard last year with Chicago had like the most yards after first contact, was a power runner and everything else. He was non-existent in that football game. And the reason I think why is Deuce Staley, who's a former Eagle running back, is the running backs coach. and right now he's an assistant coach. Deuce Staley's going to be a head coach next year.
You think so?
He's going to be a head coach next year. He has been groomed in this system. He will come out and he's going to coach. If he's not the head coach, he's going to be an OC.
Yeah.
I guarantee he's not going to be with the Eagles. He's looks at those running backs and goes, Miles Sanders fits our system better. Even though he doesn't have the experience, he doesn't even have a lot of college experience. He was Saquon Barkley's backup.
Damn.
So when Barkley was a senior, Sanders was a freshman. Sanders had one season and then boom, out. He's out, declared, got in the draft, and the Eagles pick him up. Great runner, doesn't have a lot of mileage on him, which is awesome, but he's learning. He's got to learn the system, everything else. Even saying all that, and you have a guy who is an established, really good running back in Jordan Howard, they hardly used at all, and now you got Miles Sanders in for a lot of carries where you go like, that doesn't really make any sense unless they see something in Sanders that they don't see in Howard. Right. Maybe Howard doesn't receive as well. Maybe he just doesn't catch the ball as well. Penn State with an RPO offense put a lot of stock in the hands of their running backs. Look at Saquon. Saquon Barkley, oh, by the way, is probably, Penn State homerism not aside, have we seen a running back like this since Adrian Peterson? I mean, honestly, like the guy that...
I'm not ready to put him on that level yet, but...
Is there a prize for worse than fantasy? Can we shift over to the Giants Cowboys?
Sure.
Fucking shenanigans.
Yeah.
So the Giants have one job during the season. Dave Martin's opinion. The Giants have one job, and that's to beat fucking Dallas. It's to beat Dallas. It's a division rival. They're a fuckbag team. Like Jerry Jones with his fucking shenanigans with his goddamn running back and all this fucking bullshit. You want to talk about like this stuff with Antonio Brown it's T.O.-esque.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that T.O. had put something out there to say, hey man, I deserve an apology because he was never this bad, right? But you get fucking Jerry Jones and the fucking just shenanigans with with Ezekiel Elliott, right? I
was shocked he got signed before week 1.
I'm not. It was fucking based on how Jerry Jones handled Emmitt Smith back in the day when all that fucking shit was going on. This was going to happen sooner than later. Yeah. We knew it. This is where the Dak Prescott, like, I don't like the Cowboys. I don't. I'm an Eagles fan.
Oh, me too.
Fuck the Cowboys.
As a 49ers fan, I fucking hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, fuck the Cowboys. Sorry, Bronco Fett, but guess what? Cowboys can eat a dick, a big fat one. A whole bag of them, as a matter of fact. Because what I can't stand about the fucking Cowboys is happening today, as we speak. The talking heads all across, all the fucking pundits, all these fucking asshats, all they can talk about is like, Cowboys are going to Super Bowl. Why? They beat a fucking Giants team that has a brand new fucking coach, has a fucking mentally challenged quarterback, and a fucking the best running back in the world that they handed the ball 15 times to. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, you're playing away. What do you do when you have the best running back in the league? You fucking hand him the ball.
Yeah, you just.
What else are you gonna do?
You just overpaid this guy a shitload of money.
You want to watch Eli? You want to watch Eli overthrow fucking Sterling Shepard? Sure, why not? Fuck it. Fucking like this whole thing with you. I just cry that the fact that Saquon Barkley is a giant and he's going to be ruined. It's Barry Sanders-esque. It really is. When you have somebody so fucking good and is surrounded by such fucking idiocy that it's like what happened? Like you have a centerpiece guy here. Take fucking Eli. Hey, again, thanks for the fish, and throw him in the fuck away. Like you got some Eli 2.0, awesome. You know what Eli 2.0 needs to do? Hand the ball to fucking Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? This isn't a running play; it's a passing play. Throw the ball to Saquon Barkley. Yeah. The guy is a fucking amazing, and to put the Cowboys on such a fucking pedestal, like they're going to go to the Super Bowl all of a sudden because they beat a fucking Giants team that had its head squarely up its own ass. I can't do it. Dak Prescott, like, oh, Dak had a perfect passer rating. Okay, he also had no pressure. None. Like, I would rather see Carson Wentz be under pressure, have to move out of the pocket, throw on the move to his wide receivers, which, oh, by the way, we didn't even talk about Deshaun Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Who'd have thought, huh?
And that and me having Deshaun Jackson and fucking Alshon Jeffrey on my bench in the fucking Squadron League.
Oof. Sad face.
Boom, 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 boom. So, but anyway. And look, I'm disparaging the Cowboys because that's what I was brought up to do.
Yeah.
And, like, if you've got friends that are Cowboys, hey, there's Penn Staters that are Cowboys. Awesome. Doesn't mean I'm going to like the Cowboys. I fucking can't stand the organization. I can't stand the organization that they're changing the dynamic of football. They're writing their own fucking rules. They're the New York Yankees of fucking football. Because, I'm going to figure out how to pay Ezekiel Elliott. And then, I'm going to have to pay Dak Prescott with his perfect fucking passer rating after never being pressured. You put me in a perfect pocket, guess what? I'm going to be able to throw a 10, 15-yard pass.
Sure.
All day.
Mm-hmm.
Especially to a guy like fucking, Cooper.
Yeah,
Amari
Cooper. Somebody's going to get open.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, stop. Just stop with the fucking Cowboys going to the Super Bowl and being fucking contenders. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't, because they've proved absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
They've proved absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Do that against the fucking Patriots? Different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to go like, fuck. I mean, the Patriots look goddamn good this year.
Of course.
And I hate it. I fucking hate it. God, it just it makes my chest hurt.
Yeah, what do you even say to that? Like, how the fuck is it even possible at this point for old ass fucking Tom Brady? He's like my age, and he's still out there playing at this fucking highest possible level of NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
And
what sucks is you got to give credit to him. He looked good. He made good reads, and let's say Pittsburgh. It's kind of, they blew out a Pittsburgh team that deserved to get blown out.
Right,
like, that Pittsburgh team really didn't have much.
They're kind of in a transition period at this point.
It's
like, even Roethlisberger, I think it's like we're seeing his last days.
He's on his way out. Tomlin's, he's going to take his Super Bowl rings and he's going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh is one of those teams that they've had 3 head coaching changes their entire existence.
Yeah,
it's been a good long run. And we're talking about it in the chat, Don. Yeah, absolutely. You look at Tom Brady by his body of work with the fucking Lombardis and the MVPs and everything else. You can't. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't deny his greatness. Yeah, like, that's
field vision.
Whether
it's
you
just
like him or not,
sickening that. What was he, a backup in Michigan?
Yeah.
The best thing that happened to Tom Brady was Drew Bledsoe sucking.
So I'll give you a good comparison here. Back in the 90s, late 80s, when I've always been a 49ers fan, but when the 49ers were actually successful, and you'd hear a lot of people bitching and moaning, fucking 49ers, they go to the playoffs every year, all this shit. This was only over a stretch of 10 years. This Patriots shit is going over 20 now.
I know.
It's going on for fucking ever.
I think about the 2004 Super Bowl that, McNabb throwing up in the fucking end zone, and, that team with Terrell Owens. That Eagles team, that stretch of Eagles teams in the early 2000s was fucking good.
It was good, but
they weren't good enough to beat fucking a infant Tom Brady.
Yeah, and again,
that was 15 years ago.
Right. And
that same motherfucker played in the Super Bowl 2 years ago against an Eagles team that is completely different.
Yeah, not a single player.
Nope. Different coach, different.
And he's still doing it now. And he's
even better. The coach of the fucking on the other side of the field was somebody who was on the Eagles team that he fucking played against.
Yeah, which it's fucking crazy to think about. And you gotta attribute at least half of this to Belichick, because it's the coaching is so important in this league.
You think it's only half?
Well, I'm trying to be generous, because Brady is a fucking physical freak, and he's got to be super fucking smart to be playing at this level.
Too smart to go to Michigan? Is that what you're saying?
Not too smart to go to Michigan. Smart enough to go to Michigan.
Do you remember that he went to Michigan?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I know what you were referring to, but Seeing a team play at this high a level for this long it's
with
it's
all different,
unreal.
it's an all different cast of characters too.
With two exceptions,
Yeah.
Brady and fucking Belichick.
Yep.
Everything else is different.
And I think as much as Brady can be credited with being the guy to fucking execute those wins without the fucking evil empire of Belichick in the background, come hook or by crook, like he is the one that establishes the locker room that everyone that comes out of that organization goes like, yeah, this guy has got it fucking together.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy, you get on that fucking ship and nobody makes waves, everybody wins. And I said it earlier in the chat, winning cures a lot of fucking issues.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I think the Antonio Brown situation is going to work for them this year. Like they only signed him to a 1-year contract. He may not get a lot of reps like the first 3 or 4 games.
What's going to happen when Belichick tells Antonio Brown, like, you have your cell phone in the fucking locker room, you're gone?
I think he'll listen.
You think so?
I
don't think Antonio Brown respects the fucking game enough.
I think this guy is enough of a prima donna where he is so self-centered and self-focused that he wants that Super Bowl ring more than anything else. And he'll eat a little bit of shit from Belichick to get that.
I don't think he will.
But I think that he'll put it up with it for one season, get his ring, and then after that, if they kept him for another year beyond this, then he would, he'd go TO and he'd fucking start doing bench presses in his driveway.
Sit-ups. It was sit-ups.
Oh, sorry.
Listen, me personally, I'd be willing to put money on that Antonio Brown gets benched at some point this season.
I don't buy it.
That he benches him, and
I'd put $1 on the mixer right now if I had one.
I'll match that dollar.
All right, next week
within the regular season, when Antonio Brown, who was supposed to, I guess he was supposed to sign today. I don't know if it actually happened.
I thought it already did happen.
No, I think the actual signing was today.
Oh, okay.
Or something with eligibility. I don't even know, but
waivers and whatnot. I don't know.
I say that the Patriots organization gives him one fucking chance, and they put him on the bench and say, like, if you don't shut the fuck up, the guy is a fucking egomaniac.
Oh, I have.
He belongs. You know where fucking Antonio Brown belongs? On fucking Dallas.
Yeah.
Him and Jerry Jones could fucking go fucking scissor each other and fucking and drink each other's fucking cum for all I kind of that's the type of fucking egomaniac that Jerry Jones would fucking love to have.
Sure.
He had look at who he had. He had fucking fucking cocaine addict. Goddamn what's his nuts? I can't think of it. Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
He's
also had Terrell Owens.
And fucking Deion Sanders. He loves these giant personalities, and Jones is the kind of guy who would amplify an Antonio Brown. Like, oh, you want to go on Instagram? Here, let me get on Instagram with you.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit. Belichick is not going to do that. Belichick is not going to get to the Antonio Brown level where it's like, oh, here you are in Hard Knocks, you're fucking hogging up the camera time. You're gonna freeze your fucking feet, you fucking idiot. Like, you do what the trainer tells you to fucking do. You get in a goddamn tub and you shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine in our professional situation, right? With a troop that's like that. You got some fucking high speed. This is the best troop in the fucking world, but it's a complete egomaniac. And you sit him down. It's like, look, your job is to be a part of this team, not to be the best person.
Right.
Your job's not to be the best number one wide receiver in the fucking NFL. Your job is to be a part of this team. Do you think that he does it? No, because his fucking ego won't allow it. It doesn't, because Randy Moss had Hall of Fame numbers, but Randy Moss was an adult. Like, he actually, Randy Moss got to a point when he was on a Patriots team that he had matured to the point where it's like, I can appreciate what I got right now. I'm on this team. I'm on I'm in a winning environment. I can fucking appreciate it.
You don't
Antonio
think
Brown,
at that point?
no, he's all about himself. He's all about himself. Why create the issues in fucking Pittsburgh? Why create those problems?
Yeah.
Like, if you had a fucking balls, you would have done what Le'Veon Bell did. Fucking, all right. If you really feel that strongly about getting paid, then take a seat. Take a seat. Don't fucking play this season. Don't be the number one fantasy wide receiver. Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
And can your reputation take that all the way to the next fucking year and still get paid? The answer is no, because he's not Le'Veon Bell. He's great. He's a great receiver because of the system that he was in. And he knew that with Derek Carr, I guarantee you, the first fucking thing that happened with Antonio Brown, he started catching passes from Derek Carr. He's like, this motherfucker sucks. Big Ben fucking won Super Bowls because he was a good fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? Derek Carr should be fucking washing something in the parking lot. He should not. He should be fucking playing the saxophone in the parking lot. He should not be fucking throwing passes. And I don't care what system you're in. So, Chucky's running a system that would have worked in 1990.
So I saw a really funny meme this morning. It's Bill Belichick on a phone, and he's going, "All right, and then call the GM a cracker and call me in 20 minutes." I
think Big Swede was saying it at work. It was like Swacky Gaming? Saucy Gaming.
Yeah.
You know who that is?
No idea.
Neither do I.
Anyway, can we move on from Antonio Brown, please? Like, we've already spent way too much time on this motherfucker.
Fine.
Real quick, I want to go into the 49ers game. So, I just went into this weekend, just give me a win. Let's just start the season off right. And it was a couple of field goals. Tampa Bay scores a touchdown. And then fucking Garoppolo throws a pick six. I'm like, here we go. Thank God our defense really fucking stepped up. They got 2 pick sixes themselves, like fucking 3 sacks.
Yep.
Played their asses off, saved the fucking offense. I think Garoppolo ended up throwing for like 160 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. So nothing to write home about offensively, but the defense really fucking came through, as did the kicker, what's his nuts.
I don't even know. I don't have him.
No, I fucking... He's that guy, Gould.
Derek Gould.
No, not Derek. It's R. Gould.
Oh, Robbie Gould.
Yeah.
Robbie Gould. I went to school with Derek Gould. Never mind.
Okay, but yeah, he fucking came through on the field goals, and then the defense with the 2 pick sixes. Garoppolo did throw 1 touchdown pass, which it was a pretty good play, but it seems like he was struggling most of the game. So thank God the defense kept us in it and eventually sealed the game.
Do you know who's streaming defenses in the Squadron League?
No.
This guy. Do you know which defense he streamed?
Niners?
Yeah.
Nice.
I got like 29 points out of the Niners defense.
Fuck yeah.
I just liked it. I just liked it for last week.
Yeah.
I dropped Houston and fucking picked them up.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, a win's a win. I'll take it. Hopefully, Garoppolo eventually gets his shit together.
Listen, your pretty boy, fucking porn star, whatever I was calling him before. What was I calling him before? I don't know. Bad would bad fit? Hey, look. I don't know. Who's he throwing to?
So we've got 3 fucking rookies. We got George Kittle, the tight end, who he's a badass. Like, he's fucking awesome.
Okay.
But the rest, it's like all a bunch of fucking rookie receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them have a lot of promise, but right now it's fucking Kittle or bust. So, and who caught the touchdown pass? Richie James, which I think he's also one of the rookies, maybe, or he's like a second-year guy. Anyway, right now, all I want him to be is Trent Dilfer. Just don't lose us the fucking game. Fucking hand it off to Breida, fucking 20 times a game, throw a couple of passes.
Do you think for a franchise like San Francisco, right, the 49ers, it's a storied franchise, right?
Yeah.
We all know how much Bronco Fett loves Steve Young. We go back, look at Joe Montana, look at the Jerry Rices, look at
Steve Young.
I already mentioned Steve
Young.
Young.
I just
we could just say it again.
Yeah,
Steve Young. So, Jimmy G ain't worth $5. Listen, the fact of the matter is, the 49ers need to... I don't think they were going into the season with like a rebuilding mentality. Granted, they have some rookies and things like that, but that's a franchise that expects to win.
Yeah.
And now are you going to compete? Are you going to compete enough to make the playoffs? Playoffs.
I just want to win a game. No,
Well,
I mean, honestly, I never went into this season with the expectation of playoffs. It would be a pleasant surprise. At this point, I want to see 8-8 or higher. And then
I don't think that's. I think we need to rewind the tape. Because I'm pretty sure that you predicted a little bit better than that.
It might have been more tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, sure. That's what we're going with?
Realistically, I mean, come on. Like, I could just be like, fucking, yeah, we want to know. Our defense kicks ass. We're going to the Super Bowl. But I'm realistic. Right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you can't afford to be anything but,
Yeah.
honestly.
the only problem really is the Rams. Like, I don't see Arizona or fucking Seattle being competition this year. I think those three teams, the 49ers, Seahawks, and Cardinals, I think they're all kind of on an even tier. The Rams are still.
Well, let's
the
talk
better
about
team in the division.
let's talk about the Rams.
Okay.
You know, I'm looking at Jared Goff's numbers because I fucking started them.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking at Jared Goff's numbers and I'm like, where the fuck's this guy at? You know.
Yeah.
Against Carolina.
Caroline.
I expected a lot more. I expected the Rams to pick up where they left off.
Yeah.
You know, I don't call it a Super Bowl hangover, call it whatever. I mean, Lord knows that's what happened to the Eagles after they lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough. You're playing an extended season, and it wears on you.
Yeah.
And I
there's
get
expectations at that point.
Sure,
too.
sure.
You know, like your fan base, and even to yourself.
Alleged fan base.
Yeah.
Your manufactured fan base in LA.
Sure.
Fuck LA. Is LA not the worst city in America?
Pretty much is, and it's only gotten worse.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you in the chat, you guys, give me a city that's worse than LA. From all the fucking asshats that are in there, the Lakers fans, the fucking Clippers. Oh, we got to bring every professional sports organization here. The fucking XFL that Bronco Fest's looking forward to. LA's got a team there. Like, at what point is like, okay, we get it. ESPN has they do a show from the West Coast. Who gives a fuck?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it should be called. Who gives a fuck? Because I don't care where the show's coming from. I don't. People on the West Coast that live in LA care.
Right.
They care. Nobody else in the fucking country gives two fucks.
Well, it helps that, there's like 50 billion people in fucking LA, so.
And most of them are fucking homeless, living in the street. They're not watching they're not going to Lakers games.
That is very true.
Or the Clippers. Maybe they're going to fucking see Sacramento. But, I mean, I can't fucking stand it. I can't stand that LA mentality where it's like, oh, everything's perfect here, and here's the great weather, and blah, 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 blah. Honestly, LA can't hold a fucking candle to San Diego when it comes to cities. With the weather and everything else. Like, LA's not beautiful. Like, you got to get outside of LA to fucking get into. You get some of the mountains, and it's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know driving between Palmdale and LA, like going through those mountains and everything else. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that fucking.
That's my backyard.
Yeah, the topography and the scenery and shit like that. Awesome.
Yeah.
LA can fucking. I would pray to God that the fucking Independence Day spaceship would just fucking hover over it, go right through the middle of Capitol Records thing, and go woohoo, and fucking blow the whole goddamn thing up.
I'm thinking
Vader's
more,
taking a beating today.
I'm thinking more of the earthquake scenario. It'll fall into the ocean, which is a bunch of bullshit. But
that's not how plate tectonics works.
Right, but that would actually be nice in this scenario. Not that I want 50 billion people to die in a earthquake in California, but whatever.
As long as like we got friends that live in Palmdale, Bakersfield. Obviously, you want that to
as
maintain.
long as the cutoff like right before Bakersfield.
and San Diego, wrap around San Diego. I
'cause
love San Diego.
And I got family in San Diego.
Yeah,
too,
so
obviously we don't want anything to happen to them.
Yeah, exactly.
But the rest of them, fuck them. So anyway,
fuck LA. God, I fucking hate it.
Can we talk about Cleveland just really quick?
Oh.
The fucking hype that these fucking Browns fans had going into this season, but the best part is the fucking memes, right? Because so there was this meme going around in the off season where it was the Browns. It's like, if you didn't cheer for us when we were losing by 30, don't cheer for us when we're losing by 10, right? But then there was a new fucking meme that came out today. If you didn't cheer for us last year when we were losing by 30, don't cheer for us this year when we're losing by 30. And it's like all of their fucking hot free agent signings, OBJ, and all these fucking guys that they signed in the offseason, all their fucking draft picks, and I'm just like, this is fucking perfect. Because the Washington Redskins tried this years ago.
Yeah.
To buy a fucking franchise, basically.
Mm-hmm.
To, we've got all this money to spend. Every fucking name free agent that's out there. We're gonna pick them dry. We're gonna like draft these like
because they had
flashy players in the draft, and then we're gonna win. We're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Didn't they have? I'm pretty sure that's the year they picked up Larry Johnson, who was the Penn State running back on the '94 national championship team.
Maybe.
Yeah, he was on the '94 team. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, that hamster's fucking rolling off of his wheel right now.
And like, that's never worked ever. The only way you win championships like that is to build a fucking team, not just pluck all the best free agents, do a couple of flashy draft picks, and then call it good. So,
we got some responses to our what's the worst fucking.
Oh, Fresno is bad. Yeah, you're right about that, Tom. Like, and I've spent a lot of time there, and it's pretty shitty.
So, of course, the Michigan diehard Don Solsky. Obviously, when I say Michigan diehard, I don't mean Jason Roscombe. Let's just make that clear, because the motherfucker doesn't know shit about Michigan football or college football in general.
I don't know.
Just to make that clear.
I don't know why you have to constantly attack me for no reason every week.
There's plenty of reason
Regarding my Michigan fandom. I'm sorry that I support Jim Harbaugh and my Michigan team, but you don't have to give me.
You have that in the wrong order. You should be supporting the Michigan team, and Jim Harbaugh happens to be the khaki-wearing fucking shitbag coach, the overrated khaki-wearing shitbag coach.
Who's 2-0. But anyway, we're talking about the NFL now. So Cleveland, yeah, fuck Cleveland. You guys, you should have known better.
Look, the best quote out of all that came from Delaney Walker after that game, which, oh, by the way, I had fucking Derrick Henry started in the league, and he fucking, like, it looked like people were running, the Browns defense was running away from Derrick Henry because they're like, oh, this giant motherfucker is going to kill me. Because he is. He's a large human being. Yeah. He's a grown-ass man. And he was running like a fucking man on fire.
Yeah.
But Delaney Walker said it best. He's like, they are what we thought they were. Right? And that's exactly it. It's a lot of fucking, I don't buy into the Baker Mayfield hype. I have more respect for Tavares Jackson, who goes out there with the Ravens and has a fucking great game.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, the Ravens, man. Where did they fucking come from?
Who also had another fucking money quote about him being, hey, not too bad for just a running back, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you get a Ravens team that goes out there and has a good win, right? 2 Heisman Trophy winners, which doesn't necessarily translate to the NFL. You got Baker Mayfield, who's probably a good quarterback in a good system. What the Browns are doing right now is they're trying to pretend like they deserve to be in a conversation.
Right.
And everyone bought off on it. Like, why not? OBJ is a good wide receiver.
Sure. Good
wide receiver. I'm glad that he's not a Giant anymore. I really am.
Yeah. Because
he kept Eli Manning paid for the past 2 years. Right? With OBJ gone, the Giants don't have anybody to fucking throw to besides that's not named Saquon Barkley.
Right.
Which, oh, by the way, throw to him more, idiots. I don't have him in fantasy. I just think what a waste. Anyway, but yeah, fucking OBJ being there, all this fucking hype, and Cleveland rocks and whatever. Fucking, oh, you know what? Ohio is one of those places that could just go, it just kind of like folds in, and then like suddenly like the Great Lakes join in the middle, fucking create. Here's your OH. Oh no, I'm all drowning because
it's like it was never there.
It's like and it's gone. Like, it's all clean now.
It's like, didn't there used to be a state there?
No. Just keep driving around it. It's fine. It's fucking fine.
Yeah. Oh god, Cincinnati. You ever driven through Cincinnati? What a fucking dump.
No.
Oh my god, it's the worst.
Isn't Cincinnati like right across from Louisville? Yeah. Louisville is a great town.
Yeah,
right.
It's right on the border.
And then over there is that fucking shithole.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what is nice in Ohio? Somebody tell me.
I've ever
Somebody tell me, please.
Isn't there like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there?
Who fucking cares?
Yeah,
What's that mean? That there's a Jimi Hendrix guitar in there. There's one in fucking Nashville too. So
fair enough. All right, let's move on to our fantasy games, unless you had any other NFL stuff, because goddamn, we're going late. So fantasy, fuck. This is week 1 of the All Things Star Wars Fantasy Football League, and I know I went into this talking a lot of shit, and to say that my team let me down was the understatement of the century. Although I will say my number 1 pick, the one that I kind of went out on a limb on with my first pick, Patrick Mahomes, fucking came through like a champ.
Out on a limb?
Well,
you went out on a limb?
You guys were giving me shit for picking a quarterback so early.
Yes.
But anyway,
A fantasy football professional would not be picking a quarterback with his first fucking pick.
trust me, my remaining options weren't that great. So, yeah, he did just fucking great. Hill, though, guess he got injured early on in the game. Only got me a handful of points. The rest of my team, every single other person either underperformed or didn't fucking perform at all. So, Brady, this is a message for you. I know you're not watching in the live stream, but hopefully you hear this. Good game, sir, but this shit ain't over. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to, maybe make some deals. I got some good trade fodder with Tom Brady on my bench. We'll turn this franchise around. Good week 1 game. Congratulations on your win. This ain't over, motherfucker.
So, for my game, which is still, honestly, right now, according to Yahoo, between Solo D's nuts and the Detroit Death Stars.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, my thing is going to be every week a new name. Every week.
Who are you, Snetty? Come on, man.
Well, we got to keep it somewhat dynamic, right? I mean, you can't keep
Whatever,
just.
man.
I'm going to go with a different name. Fuck Snetty. Oh, by the way, do we want to talk about that real quick? Let's just do that real quick.
Sure.
Because fuck Snetty, right? In our old Squadron League, right? We'll get back to the matchup between myself and Don. But in my old league, week 1, I'm against fucking Mr. Snetty Winks.
Uh-huh.
And currently, right now, it is 158 to 157.
Ooh.
I'm up. Okay? He is done.
Oh, so you win.
He's done. Well, no. Wait, maybe he does have somebody. Hang on. He's got fucking a tight end right now, Cook. Right? So he's got a 12% chance to win, according to Yahoo.
Yeah.
Right? I've got the 88%. Right now playing, I have Kamara and Drew Brees.
So you've got a pretty good shot.
I've got a really good shot at beating this motherfucker
Yeah.
who talked nonstop shit. This guy, such a pain in my fucking balls. He's always shit talking, and Nick Bokel will tell you that I just immediately, like in the fucking text group, I just was like, boom, boom, boom. I was just fucking hitting him, coming at him. Fucking brilliant. And if I win this week, the excuses he's going to make are going to be absolutely fucking great.
Well, this is the same guy who the last time I won the league was claiming shenanigans because I made a late season trade.
He claimed that
collusion.
Collusion.
That was his word.
Collusion. And it was his team name forever. He's a Notre Dame fan.
If that doesn't tell you everything,
That's
right there.
Everything you need to know right there. So enough about that league. Yeah. I'm really happy.
Yeah,
although I'll crow one more little bit about this. We're at a 12. It's a 12-team league now.
Yes.
So in the draft, I got Drew Brees, Keenan Allen, Jarvis Landry, Alvin Kamara, what's his nuts, Jackson, the Chargers running back who underperformed, Zach Ertz, Sammy Watkins, 56.8 points for me. I started him in a flex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Vinatieri, San Fran D, 29 points. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. On
my bench, I had Howard, which we briefly spoke about. Howard with the Eagles from a fantasy perspective. I don't think that he's going to. I don't think there's a lot there. Yeah. I don't think that the Eagles coaching staff wants to play him. He's not going to get the kind of carries he got in Chicago. I had Alshon Jeffrey with 22 points on the bench. Deshaun Jackson with 45 points on the bench. Kyle Rudolph didn't do a goddamn thing. I don't know what the hell was wrong with him. Derek Carr, who's playing tonight, and Richard. I got too many team up things. But in a league where we get money for most points in a week, I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
Yeah.
Back to our league.
But your game is really fucking close tonight too. So this is gonna come down to the wire between you and Solsky, which is exciting to watch. From my perspective, I understand if it was me sitting in that seat, I'd be like, come on. Yeah. But from an outsider perspective, it's cool to see a game that's this fucking close, right down to the wire.
Yeah, because what I need to have happen, because he's got Drew Brees playing, and I have Drew Brees in another league. That game I'm comfortable enough with, or Drew Brees can fucking go ahead and pull the throttle back, and not have a Drew Brees night. I don't need him to. I don't need him to score 35 points.
Yeah.
Because that would hurt me against Don.
Right.
This is a great start to this season. From a matchup perspective.
Yep.
And it's anybody's game still.
Yep.
So we will see.
So
although I'm going to win.
We've also got Orange Jacket Man is not going to pick up the W against the Atco AT-ATs. Though unfortunately the Atco AT-ATs, Keith Lehman, longtime listener, his starter was Nick Foles, R.I.P. Who's he got on his bench for a quarterback? Oh, he benched Deshaun Jackson. So good job on that one, Keith.
Yeah.
But nobody really thought that, honestly. I'm just fucking with you. But nobody saw that thing coming. Oh, he has Mariota from Tennessee, who actually did pretty well this weekend. So, yeah, that might be your guy going forward. Unless you're looking for a Tom Brady type. Then we can talk trade.
Hey, you can't don't use the podcast to fucking
what?
market your fucking trade bait.
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Oh yeah? Guess who's the commissioner?
Oh, God damn it. So, Shotgun Mark.
I'll protect all of us.
Looks like Shotgun Mark is probably going to come up short against the Imperial right guard, which is
great name by the way.
Yeah, Robert Gibson. So Gibson looks like he's probably going to take it, assuming his guys don't take a complete dump tonight. Shotgun Mark actually does have the points, but Gibson still got a couple people to play. So maybe the Denver defense gets just fucking ass raped tonight, and then he gets negative points. But otherwise,
against Oakland?
Yeah, not likely. The Star Wars Gala Day special got an insane amount of points this week. They're slated to get 173 this week. And who is that, by the way? Oh, Tony Ferrari, of course. Beating up on the Sith Lords of Yuma, which is Scott. Sorry, Scott.
Hey, listen, something. Well, you know what? Well, I'll speak to that afterwards. That's a good amount of points. 160 points. Sitting right now with 160 points is a really good amount.
Who the fuck is A. Eckler for the Chargers? It's their main running back, I guess. Got him 40 fucking points.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Good game. Let's see if he can be that consistent for the rest of the season. And
poor Sith Lords of Yuma ran into a buzzsaw with that team. It's gonna be tough. So we need to talk about Holiday Special Cannons, which another great name, but not a great fantasy football team. I don't know what he did, but well, listen. So we're here to help.
Yes.
He did not start Saquon Barkley.
Well, I'm a little bit curious about his choice for, say, quarterback. C. Rush, quarterback from Dallas. Like, I understand you're a Cowboys fan, but fantasy football is when you have to break your fandom away from your fantasy team, which I almost feel like this is kind of a joke at this point.
Well, listen, he has not. Bronco Fett is new to the fantasy football game,
which I'll give him that. Which is why I'm not lambasting him right now.
Yeah, going forward, what you need to shake hand all these Cowboys. I mean, you need to keep a Randall Cobb, absolutely. Michael Gallup, yes, obviously. I mean, you have in the system that the Cowboys are running right now. You're in a PPR league. You're going to get a lot of receptions. So those are both solid picks. Tony Pollard, I actually don't mind that pick because he's the guy who was spelling Ezekiel Elliott, and the intent for that night, nobody thought that Elliott was going to get a lot of carries. So Pollard, not a bad idea for that to start. But for sure, when you got a stud like Saquon Barkley, like he's a number one guy, you start him. Again, fantasy football is not about fandom.
Right.
Saquon Barkley, Travis Kelce, the San Fran tight end who Jason says is a stud. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
And then you got Jason Witten. Jason Witten's not a bad play because he's
getting up there in age, but
he is, but he's going to be involved in the offense. in a PPR league, so points per reception league, it is going to, every time a receiver catches the ball, you're going to get at least 1 point from him.
Yes.
And in a league like this, the scoring average is going to be pretty high. So you want to be in that you want to be somewhere between like 115 to 125 on any given week to be competitive.
Not 80 like me.
And obviously this is for fun, but I think you'll serve yourself well to get on a waiver wire, and if you need some help with that, we're absolutely will help you do that. But this is definitely like fantasy football. You won't enjoy yourself if you keep putting guys that are going to be inactive on there. Like, you want to score points, so we can help you out doing that.
Yeah, you need a quarterback. That's numero uno priority.
Yeah.
Is get rid of that fucking Cowboys backup and get a real quarterback.
Yeah.
But I will say that Chewy's Angels was very happy to pick up the victory because I think she lost in her other league, so she was very happy to win in ours.
Yeah.
And plus her Patriots won also, so she was having a good NFL weekend. But yeah, that's week 1 of the All Things Star Wars Fantasy Football League. Some interesting matchups, a couple of surprise breakouts, and a really close game. Ooh, well, it was really close. Now your projected is looking a lot more in your favor.
Yeah, I try not to focus on that too much.
Yeah, but I mean, Breeze could still fucking light it up. It's only the second quarter, so
yeah. And listen, guys, like for the newbies out there, best thing, even if you don't pay attention all week, right? You're not an NFL guy. Don't watch ESPN, do any of that shit. On Sunday or Saturday probably is your best bet, because by Saturday the NFL has to release, like the teams have to release, okay, who's going to be your inactives, injury statuses, shit like that. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have a really good idea on Saturday who's going to be playing on Sunday. And you have an opportunity to say, okay, there's a player that's going to be inactive that I need to swap out of my starting lineup. And by doing that, you're going to at least get yourself some points as opposed to starting an inactive player.
Right, but you also have to think about the Thursday night games. Because those will take you by surprise sometimes if you're not paying attention.
Factually correct. There's more. I still am not used to all these fucking Thursday games. Having a Thursday game every week, I think is dumb.
Yeah.
Don Solsky said that Matt Stafford is available. We have to talk about the fucking the tie. The fucking tie.
Yeah.
So
okay, well, first of all, what is the fucking overtime rules now? They keep changing the goddamn overtime rules every couple of years.
This is the same as last year.
Which is what? Like, what is it right now? Because it used to be sudden death, right? It was sudden death for fucking years. Then they changed it to that new system where it's like, okay, each team gets a possession unless the first team that gets the ball gets a touchdown. Then they fucking just win. Otherwise, if it's a field goal, the other team gets a chance to match a field goal. Back and forth, blah, 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 blah.
So the rule as it stands now is whoever wins the coin toss and decides to get the ball, if they drive and score a touchdown, they win.
Okay, so that's still in place.
That's still in play.
Okay.
If they kick a field goal, then the other team gets a possession.
Right.
So they kick off to the other team, they get a possession. If they drive and score a touchdown, they win.
Yeah.
If they kick a field goal, then it's tied up and they just play out the clock. Once the overtime clock is done, the game is over.
Okay.
So they play one single overtime period.
Right.
That's it.
Except in the playoffs. In the playoffs, it'll keep going.
Yeah, because you have to have a winner.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Have a fucking winner of these fucking football games. This is football. Like, somebody was talking about it in the thing today. College overtime rules. Because then you start matching possessions. Like, all right, here's the ball in the fucking 20. Go and give it your best effort. Do the same thing. Because if nothing else, like in those long drives, it's a little, it's more evenly matched. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you get a good kickoff or whatever, now it's like, there's so much chance in it. I mean, it's all based on a coin flip anyway, right?
Yeah.
So if you get the ball first, you go down and score a touchdown, you win. Yeah. And it was all because of the coin flip. But whatever. To me, there's no place in the NFL for a fucking tie game. There isn't. And the fact that we still have this, like, the Lions had that game. They had that. The second half was a completely different Cardinals team.
Sure.
Like, and oh, by the way, fucking Larry Fitzgerald I can't believe he's still doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a fucking quarterback. And so he's in a position where everyone's there to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Fitzgerald's going out there and engaging and making contact.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still fucking doing it. And he had a good day.
Yeah.
I still don't think, like, the Cardinals have flashes of what could be a good team. And they finally woke up. And I hate to say it, I'm sorry, Don, but like the Lions just lines it up. They're like, all right, yeah, we got this game in the fucking bag, and oh shit, we're just gonna let these fuckers score. The fact that they even got away with a tie is actually pretty remarkable because Arizona had a fucking interception. Homeboy had an interception in his fucking hands, and he just dropped it. All he had to do was catch it, step out of bounds, field goal team comes on, they win. But he didn't hold on. Yeah. So it ends up in a fucking tie. And it's a shame. But this is the fucking NFL. It's not the XFL, it's not college, it's not Canadian. No ties. It's the ties, it's dumb, it needs to be done.
Yeah, maybe there's still more tweaking that needs to be done. But I know the overtime rules are...
It's been 100 years. They're celebrating 100 years of fucking football this year.
Yeah, who the hell knows? But yeah, it's fucking ridiculous that it came to that. But I think we gotta close this up because it's getting fucking late and I gotta get to bed soon. So, thank you to all of our loyal listeners who are in the chat. That fucking bug, man. And good luck to everybody for the rest of this weekend as far as fantasy football goes. And then readjust, re-engage, take a look at that waiver wire, and try to make some smart pickups and be ready for next weekend. Yeah. Again, no recording for the All Things Star Wars podcast next week. I will be out of town. We'll follow it up. We'll pay you back somehow. Yeah, and my plan is on Sunday. Actually, I might do it on game day too. Depends. Next week is for college. I'm not sure who everybody else is playing. I know Penn State's playing Pitt, which is I kind of mentioned it earlier, but it's becoming more of a rivalry game. Yeah. And my daughter sold her fucking ticket because she's coming home for the weekend, which I know if it were me, I'd be at that fucking Pitt game. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be, I want every fucking voice to be hollering at that game. Mm-hmm. But she has a ticket to the fucking Michigan game, so she'll be at the Michigan game, which is going to be the whiteout. And yeah, fuck Jim Harbaugh. fuck Jim Harbaugh. Fuck Michigan, and fuck you. Good choice, Kate. So
yeah, she's going to be there to watch Michigan lose, and watch Jim Harbaugh fucking throw a tantrum. He'll fucking throw his headset. He'll fucking spit all over people. He'd fucking crap his khakis. I can't wait for the game day signs that fucking day. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be absolutely great.
Yeah, we'll see. So all right, thanks again, guys. This was a lot.
Go Broncos.
And I don't know if we'll do this every single week, but we'll play it by ear and see how it goes.
I think you deserve an update to what's going on in fantasy.
All right,
and
we're going to try not to make it an hour and a half every time. Fuck.
A lot of shit was going on. You got Antonio Brown.
Yeah, oh, God, that fucking guy. All right. Anyway, we're out. Take care, guys. See you in 2 weeks. And until then, Dave, fuck off.
Go fuck yourself.
All right. Recording this stop. Let me...
Okay, go fuck yourself.
We got to come up with something better than
that. Oh, Jason.
It's good shit.
You deserve every ounce of that fucking, like, college football, blah, blah, blah. Like, whoa. You just can't gloss over the college football shit. No.